All right, in this video, we're going to take a look at some useful tips for teachers to get started with Google Docs. So, first thing you're going to want to do is to create a new Google Doc, and there's a variety of ways in which to do it. One simple way would be in the address bar to go to docs.google.com. That will take you to the Google Docs website. It gives you a whole bunch of little templates from which to choose from, or you can do a blank template, or you can continue editing some older docs that you've already started. Another even faster way would be docs.new, which takes you right to a blank Google Doc automatically. The other way to do it would be to, in your Google Drive, click New, click Google Docs, and a new doc will start. So we're going to go to this one that I just created using docs.new. And one of the first things that you're going to want to do know how to do with a doc is simply to share it. So just like in other apps, the share button's in this top right corner. Click on the share button. You can give someone access to it, and your email. The permissions can be edit, comment, or view. Completely, totally up to you. So we're going to go ahead and close this one. I'm going to pull out an older Google Doc of mine. So if I go to docs.google.com, we can see some of the older docs that I. Okay, so something that you're going to want to really, a useful thing to do, especially if you shared a doc with somebody, is to know how to use the version history. Now, if you're working on with a bunch of people on the same document as a project, and somebody screws something up beyond recognition, the version history is like a rewind button. You can rewind it back to where the mistake was made. And it just kind of makes your life a little easier, and you could kind of just do a quick little reset on that doc. So to access your version history, so let's say that I wanted to see what this looked like, an older version of this doc. If I go to File, come down to Version History, and I go to See Version History, I can see all the different versions that I have of it and the time and date. So let's say I want to rewind this doc back to the November 14th, 4:08 p.m. version of it. You click on it, it shows me what it looked like, and I can restore it. I'm just doing a quick rewind. It takes me back to where I was in this document when I at that time. So it's a real useful tool there in Google Docs. So I'm going to go ahead and close this one out and open up a different doc. And I'm going to choose a different one here to take a look at. And we'll go ahead and go with this one here. So one thing you can do is insert comments and direct commenting. So comments is especially when you're working on a document with a group of people and you want to leave notes and comments for people and make sure that they get that certain people are acting on those comments. This is a very useful skill here. So let's say that I'm working with my imaginary friend, and my imaginary friend wrote this sentence right here. Type a sentence about tacos, and I'm kind of wanting to get their understanding of what they mean there. Maybe give them some feedback on it. So just this sentence here, not the whole doc, but just this sentence. I want to leave a comment on it. So what I can do, I'm going to select the text that I want, and I'm going to go to Insert. Come down here to Comment. That's one of the ways to insert a comment. And I may ask a question. What do you mean by this? But I don't want this for everybody. I want a certain person that I want them to be able to reflect on it and act on it. So I want to do a direct comment to this person. So if I do a plus, and and I can see all the people, I can select someone's email address and assign to them. Now they're going to get an email that takes them right to that comment. Say, hey, it's something you need to reflect upon and possibly deal with in this document. So direct comments, it can be done with virtually any file in G Suite, whether it's a doc, slides, whether it's a Google Sheet. All can be done direct commenting in G Suite there. So another thing we're going to look at here is how to add an add-on. Add-ons are like these little third-party apps that kind of little tools that are automatically built in to Doc, but you can add them on, and they can make your Doc experience a little bit easier. So you have an add-ons button right here, and it shows you all the ones that you've added over time, whichever ones you want to do. Like for example, this one right here gives me the accessible fonts, gives me other fonts that aren't in the default fonts for Google Docs. There's one here for translating, for doing tables of contents. There's tons of them. So to get an add-on, you're going to go here to Get Add-ons. And it opens up kind of like a little store here, your G Suite Marketplace. It shows you all these different little things that you may find useful. So if you are like using rubrics, this could be something that you want to take a look at as far as you doing rubrics with Google Docs. So you look at it, and if you think this is something that you want to go ahead and use, you just go ahead and click Install. And again, you're going to probably have to ask her, it's going to ask you for permissions and stuff, so you have to allow all that stuff if you want to use the add-on. So just go ahead and click Allow. Give it a minute to install, and then the add-on will then be available on your add-ons button in that list once it finishes installing. There it goes. And now the Orange Slice Student Rubric is now part of my add-ons. If I go here, it should be in there. There it is right there. So just very quick and easy way to kind of get more tools in your toolbox when it comes to using Google Docs. The next thing here is to insert a note from Google Keep. So I'm going to scroll down here to the bottom. And let's say we have let's take a look at your toolbar here on the right. This is your at-a-glance toolbar for Calendar, Google Keep, and Google Tasks. We're gonna take a look at Keep right here. So Keep is a cool little note-taking app where you can take a lot of different notes on Keep. Any note that you have here in Keep can be inserted automatically into your doc, and that's the same. It works the same with Google Slides as well and other apps. So let's say I want this note right here to be in my document. I can just click the three little dot menu right here, hit Add to Document, and now that list has been added to my doc. So a very easy way to access your Google Keep notes and put it into your into your Google Doc. So I can close that down here. Next thing on our list, it says to download as a PDF. So again, when you're up, if you don't want people to manipulate your doc and you want them to have access to it, a PDF is a good idea. So to turn this doc into a PDF, I go to File, go to Download as PDF, and then it will, in a second, we'll begin downloading my doc as a PDF. It'll look different based on the device you're on, whether it's a PC, a Mac, or a Chromebook. Okay, the last thing here is to make a copy of the doc. So maybe you want to use this doc here as a template. So what I can do is make a copy of it, and then this original one is not going to be manipulated, and I want to manipulate a copy of it and use this as a template. Simply hit File, you go to Make a Copy, and then by default it's, let's say, copy of whatever the file name is. You can go in there, you can change that, you can change the folder location of where it's at. Clicking OK, you'll see that a new copy of that document will be opened up. And depending on the size of the document, it may take, in your connection, it may take longer. But eventually it does go on. So there's my copy. I can change the name of it and I can manipulate it. And my original over here will not be manipulated at all.